That's okay.
All right. Well, thanks for coming. This is so this party's for Rasmus. I never thought I'd be having this party actually, and as far as it seems like Rasmus was an institution in our group for so long. So yeah, so I actually so Rasmus actually has been, I've been working with him since I would say what was it, 1990, when I was finishing up graduate school and we were starting, 1991, 94. So I was finishing up, I was just literally finishing up. Rasmus, so we've overlapped a lot. We were fellow graduate students for about a year maybe, and then when I came back, you were finishing up. And then I was on your thesis committee when I was here, and then you were a postdoc of mine, and then he was a staff scientist of mine. And so we've been working pretty closely together ever since. I mean, as a matter of fact, I think the first time I met you, one of the first times was when I was in graduate school, when I was just finishing up graduate school. It was kind of a funny story. Sorry to embarrass you.
No, I was expecting that story.
Most of you know that Rasmus really loves to sing. He loves choir. It's one of his main hobbies, and he really is a good singer. He really enjoys that a lot. And I actually got an appreciation of that. I think one of the first times I met you. So I had this. There were a bunch of offices where all the graduate students were, and I actually was lucky enough, as one of the senior graduate students, I had like a closed office off on the side, but I left the door open. I was kind of working. It was over the weekend too. Rasmus came in. He thought he was alone, and he was just starting out, but he was very, he's in a good mood and very enthusiastic. He sat down. He had a boom box, started playing some choral music or something like that.
I think it was my friend's band, but yeah.
Okay, your friend's band, but it sounded like something that you. Yeah, and he started singing to it as he was working. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, that sounds pretty interesting. But then I'm realizing that you thought that you were alone. And I was thinking, well, should I get out of my office? Because I had to leave eventually. But yeah, eventually I just got up and I think I surprised you. And I'm thinking to myself, that sounds everyone there was at the ISMRM meeting, and so he was almost talked into by all the people who were left behind to do electron spin resonance instead of MRI. And so luckily, we all came back soon enough that we got him back into this MRI.
Thank God.
So the other, just one other, obviously most of you have many stories about Rasmus, and the one story I'd like to bring up, and I brought up to many people, is when I first recruited him here. I was really happy that he wanted to come to NIMH. I'm always sort of amazed and surprised and happy and sort of feel a lot of gratitude when people want to come. I'm never sure if they're going to come or not, and so I always really try very hard, especially for Rasmus, to get them to come. So back then it was 1999 or 2000. So I still didn't know the rules. So I still didn't know the rules. So I didn't really know the rules of the NIH. And so I thought, okay, so typically when I was at the Medical College of Wisconsin, when I recruited someone, took them out to dinner, gave them a good time, kept the receipts, gave the receipts to the secretary, they reimbursed me. So I thought, okay, I talked to the secretary ahead of time, and I said, oh, I'm going to be doing this. And they're like, well, we need to do this and this. And I'm like, I thought they were just kind of talking and it'll be okay, and I could still work it out, it'll be fine. So as long as they know that I was going to do this. So, but I learned that, so then we went out to this restaurant and I had 7 other people come along. I think they're all single women. I was trying to sort of recruit them by that. But so it was a really nice dinner. It was a really nice dinner, and so it was a great time. And Rasmus decided to go, but then I gave the receipts to the office, and basically I was literally laughed at by the scientific director. So Bob Desmond at the time, where he just looked at that and he kind of laughed, and he said, well, I guess you're going to have to, I hope it was worth it. And like, we can't pay that. What are you talking about? This is ridiculous. So then I swallowed it, but then it actually turns out, so you've been here for about, I don't know, 9 years or so, something like that. So it actually, yeah, it was about, it's worth about $40 a year to me. That's more than you pay for, having a cup of coffee or something. That was a really good investment if that were. So, but anyway, so Rasmus actually has been, not only a key component to a lot of my own research. You know, I've been really able to talk at length with him about all kinds of things. We've been completely almost on the same wavelength, and that's a rare thing as far as, you know, the work you do. But I think even more critically, and also Rasmus has been obviously incredibly productive and very, very helpful. But even more important, though, I think, is the helpful part. I mean, it's one thing being really smart, as Rasmus is, and really productive, and really understand things, and really know how to communicate well. But it's really something completely different to have a really, really, really good attitude, and that like pretty much makes a difference. So that was pretty much with Rasmus. I mean, he really made the difference in my group, and I'm going to have to, you know, somehow, you know, struggle to regroup. And I think that, you know, trying to find people in that mold, obviously it's hard to find someone to replace Rasmus, but I think it's important to find someone to, you know, almost even try to approach his approachability and his attitude and his you know, outlook on helping people, because he's always been helpful, he's always been useful as far as that's concerned. And even when he's not useful, he's been, you know, at least he had a good attitude. That's actually really rare. That actually makes a difference. That makes us all want to go to work every day as well. I mean, that's really what it's really all about.
He is a technologist, physicist. They
Yeah,
love him.
so with everyone. So I'm just going to list really quickly. I mean, and there's certain people that he actually, you know, really helped. I mean, I have like 15 people here who, for instance, like if someone comes into my group, yeah, as hard as I can, and I'm still working at it to try to spend more face time with these people. It's just almost impossible for me. But Rasmus actually has really burdened a lot of this, and you know, he's helped people all the way back from, you know, Natalia and Pedjadu, James Patterson, even all the summer students like Hannah Chang and Dan Kelly, Monica Smith, the postbac Erda, Tom Gallo, Allison Sanders, Tyler Jones Winding as well when he came. Yerzy, he's worked a lot with Yerzy and Ziad and Dan Hamburger. Some other students had Sergio Casiaro and collaborating with Bob Cox and Alex Martin and Tanya Gerner as well. But and even more, I'm sure I left out a ton of people. So yeah, so he's touched a lot of people. He's worked with a lot of people in a really meaningful way. Not only giving lip service and sort of giving advice, but actually, you know, doing the work to actually get things done, and that's really important as well. So we have a few gifts as well for Rasmus, and let's see. I just want to make sure I didn't forget anything. All right. Okay. Nope. All right. So okay. So really quickly, and also, by the way, if anyone else wants to say anything after me, please come up here and say something. This is our chance. So all right. So I'll just start out with, well, I guess I'll start out with the most obvious thing. So this is to help Rasmus. Going back to Wisconsin, and it's obviously you want to help him fit in to it with everyone there. I mean, and this is part of the uniform.
I guess it's not a triangle.
Of people in Wisconsin. Everyone has to have these because they get together and they all wear these, and you don't want Rasmus to be left out, of course. So when you have to do that, you have to.
Okay. You gotta get the,
You gotta get the finger. And you have the beer cooler right there.
oh right, beer cooler. Goes really well with the cozies already have.
But the most important
Yes.
Now that's a picture.
Oh wait, you're in there.